Hello, my beautiful friends. Today, I wanted to bring up a situation that I think has become much more important over the past few years than ever before, and that is privacy. And not just privacy, but the danger of giving too much of yourself away to strangers through casual conversation. Even to those you might be acquainted with but don't know intimately. You know what I mean? You're sitting in the train station or on a plane, and someone sits down next to you and with a sort of offhand remark maybe asks you what you're reading. So you answer this person, and this begins a further conversation about maybe the subject matter of the book you're reading, or perhaps something more personal. They might ask you where you're going, where you're from, who you're visiting, and so forth, which then might lead to, are you married? Do you have kids? Maybe even what kind of car you drive. And of course, this all seems totally harmless. But is it? And especially for starseeds. This is why I bring it up here. And have you noticed how surreptitiously this all happens? This is a person you've never met, and now you're talking to them as if they're your best friend. And obviously, this is not usually a problem, and in fact can be quite a nice diversion from sitting and waiting for the train or the flight to end. But who is this person really? And yes, they're probably just another wonderful human, maybe even a high-level ET, but maybe not. And are they even real? Or are they a part of the matrix? I mean, it could be anyone. In fact, even your neighbor or someone you often see, like the stranger who usually takes the same bus or sits in the park to eat lunch at the same time you do, or a dozen and a half more variables. Humans are programmed to answer questions. If you don't, you're considered rude. And for me, growing up in a small town, I was taught, or maybe it's just my way, to smile and greet everyone that you pass by, and to always be polite and a good listener. Yet, what I've noticed over the years is how easily I have given away information just because I was asked. I, on the other hand, hardly ever ask others about themselves, because it always seemed to me like an invasion of their privacy. And I figure that if they want to tell me something about themselves, they'll offer it. I've never been snoopy or curious, or really even cared a lot about another's intimate life. I don't need to know any personal details about someone else. However, what is most important to me is that when I do meet someone who wants to chat, that I'm friendly and that I offer to them whatever I can that will uplift them or make them feel happy or supported. Even in a 1-minute conversation about the weather. It's just innate within me and how I've always been. So when it comes to meeting another, I've never been the questioner. I've always been the responder. And for some reason, people seem fascinated with my life. So it got me wondering, who is it that is answering them? My true self, or my ego? Am I just flattered by the attention? Plus, they don't even know me. I'm just a stranger. So do they even really care? Or are they just curious or judgmental, and maybe even looking for fault with this person they just met and covering up their disapproval with personal questions? I think my problem is that I love being open and candid and don't think about protecting myself from a potential perilous situation or a deceitful person. My first reaction is usually that they're just being friendly and their questions are harmless curiosity. Yet, frankly, I have more than once, almost immediately, began telling a complete stranger something like, "This is a simulated universe, and this life is only a dream." And of course, they usually look at me like I have two heads. And why did I think they needed to hear that? I mean, why didn't I even question their sincerity, for example? Or why I thought they would even be interested? Because they most often are not. And afterwards, I ask myself, what was I thinking? And what is it that causes me to believe that everyone is my friend? Really, if they truly were interested, they would have directed the conversation into that sort of topic or brought it up themselves. Even my own family, those I have over the years come to believe they really care about me. One extended family member asked how I receive the messages that I get and how I was able to go on board the ship. So I took the time to explain it all to her. Well, not long after that, I was told that she had said to another family member, "That's impossible. That could never happen." And of course, what she was really saying is that either I was making it up or I was crazy. Real nice. And you know, it's fine if they don't believe these things are real or could never happen. But if that's so, then don't ask us to reveal ourselves to you and then make fun of us. And it's not like I begin a conversation with a stranger about being a star being from another world, but I do often find myself reacting when they start talking about politics or religion or the state of the world they live in and everything that's wrong with it. I just want to offer them truth. And that's the danger I'm talking about. I have no interest in most anything having to do with the Matrix world. So I sometimes struggle to know what to say, and usually find myself hinting that it's all lies and everything on the TV news is to control and cause fear. I mean, I don't say it blatantly like that, but it's just that it's so hard to hear how asleep these people are. And I really want to help them wake up. And yet, that's not my job. They're on their own journey, as they should be. And no one else can wake them up to the truth but themselves. Plus, their truth is just as valid as my own. And you know, nearly every time I leave a conversation like that, afterwards, I feel upset with myself and embarrassed that I once again fell into the trap of outing myself as as bizarre. And now they're probably either afraid of me or think I'm completely mad. Anyway, I've kind of come to my own interpretations about all this. But so starseeds come from higher densities than this 3D matrixed world, where usually everyone in that reality that we originally came from is loving and honest and kind. So there was never a need to protect ourselves from coercion or threat. We come in a blank slate, and our higher frequency is our only protection. Unfortunately, that high frequency is also what is so attractive to others. This is why they want to talk to us, because they can feel the higher vibration. This is cool, but also makes us vulnerable to any deceptive influence or nefarious intent. So that's what I'm saying here. I mean, there's no need to get paranoid, but this is a time that starseeds are being targeted because they're upsetting the system. Those corrupt souls who've been controlling mankind for generations are losing their edge to those powerful star beings who came here to change the world with their knowledge, and they're striking out against them. So my feeling is that it just might be wise to stay somewhat under the radar, if possible, unless it happens to be that your star mission is to rock the boat in a more conspicuous way. Then I say go for it. But generally, don't reveal anything that you wouldn't want to see on Facebook, for example. Keep your secrets to yourself and allow yourself to be that friendly, mysterious stranger on the bus who smiles at everyone and exchanges pleasantries, but does not fall into the seductive ego trap of inquisitive flattery that might, in truth, be a purposeful interrogation to gain information, either consciously or unconsciously, from that new friend in the next seat over. A little skepticism is always a good idea. I have a YouTube friend who, after having had her podcasts censored several times, has found it necessary to alter or disguise many of her words and phrases to get the point across without bringing too much unwanted attention to her video content. It's a shame we have to be concerned about so many things that we never had to worry about in our ET lives just to be safe. But we knew what we were getting into by coming into life here on planet Earth. So let's make the best of it and don't allow those things to bring us down. Believe me, it will all be worth it. Just to be a little cautious now for the magnificent future that we're all about to step into. So hang in there and focus on the glories that life still has to offer, and have a blast while you're here. Until soon, bye.